Hello and welcome to Real vs. Real School Haunting. Today I'm reviving one of my old, long forgotten video series, which is Real vs. Real. Being it's been a while, the purpose of this series is to look at recent paranormal videos that have been circulating around, with the attempt of figuring out if it is real, as in legitimate, or real, as in a movie, or fake. I honestly planned on doing something totally different, and maybe a bit more interesting to you, but kept being met with the topic of today's video via YouTube, as well as different news sites. So let's look at the haunting caught on camera at a school in Ireland, which is called Deer Park CBS. Quite freaky, isn't it? While I normally don't like to present footage back to back, I feel it is important to show you the same clip, but this time it is brightened, so we can see some of the stuff that we couldn't see before due to the darkness. It is at this point that I want to go into a little backstory about the school. The original school was founded in 1828 on Sullivan's Quay, and later the secondary school, which this video is about, was built in Deer Park, which is near the town of Cork, in 1968. The principles of the school are based around the Roman Catholic missionary known as Blessed Edmund Ignatius Rice. Within this, Deer Park CBS's education is deeply rooted in promoting Catholic and Christian ethics within its curriculum. The school itself is highly praised for its academic prowess, as well as its classrooms are frequently as small as 12 students, which allows for easier one-on-one teaching. What frequently is left out of the brochures is the fact that the building was built on a piece of land that was once known as the Green Gallows. During the 19th century, this site served as the location for where criminals were killed by being hung. With this little bit of information, it makes it quite feasible for a haunting to occur at this particular location. The ideas of the school being haunted isn't new, as many faculty members have discussed feeling cold spots in only certain locations in the halls, specifically outside the religious studies classroom. Students have reported hearing someone crying from within the bathrooms, only to later find out that no one was inside. According to Kevin Barry, the principal of the school, he mentioned in a recent article that quite a few people have stepped forward with their paranormal encounters while attending the facility. As a union pipe fitter, I frequently have worked in schools and can tell you they can get pretty spooky at night. With one school in particular, I had 2 encounters that left me quite puzzled. So when I hear about topics like this, I always take interest into what was experienced. So let's get into this clip and see if we truly have a haunting on tape. I have a few issues with what we are presented, and I will address them each here. First, I want to note that being from America, many of us may assume that the date in the video is actually showing January 10th, 2017, which at first made me question why the school waited until October to upload it. After looking into this a bit more, I found that while it is written on the camera as I stated, in Europe and other areas, dates are written as day first, then month. Due to this video coming from Ireland, it fits with being caught on October 1st. As an interesting note, in Asia it is frequently written with the year first, then the month, and finally the day. So in Asia it would have said 2017 October 1st. I just wanted to point this out as I questioned it immediately when I saw it. There is a huge development in this story that I'll save for later on in this video, as I think it is the biggest bit of proof that draws much speculation about this clip's legitimacy. My first issue is with the brightened image, which seems to show a hazy area in the hallway, and I can only assume we are to infer that this is in fact the spirit causing the problems. Here is the issue. During the clip, the haze or ghost never moves from its spot, even though activity is mainly found around what appears to be a bathroom area. Going a step further, in the original clip, the ghost cannot be seen, which immediately makes me wonder if the spirit is actually a form of pixelization utilized to hide the human being opening and slamming the door. The deputy principal, Aaron Wolf, touched on this, stating that some thought that they used a green screen or used editing software, but claimed that they didn't have the resources for that. Honestly, this effect isn't too hard to do even with the cheapest video software, as you see here. Moving on, the scene where the locker is rocking violently brought up a bit of an issue with me. How they are set up in the hallway lets us know that there is a recess in the wall between the rocking lockers and the ones that open up later on. The recess is in the form of a window, but due to our perspective, we can't tell how deep it is. Watching this activity closely, I couldn't help but notice a brief shadow peek out from behind the locker a few times in this clip. This leads me to believe that the ghost involved here was a person standing beside the locker. As for the locker that opens up, I saw a lot of comments about schools frequently not allowing locks on the locker doors, so it could have simply opened up. The problem with this is that when re-watching the rocking clip, you can quite plainly see locks are on most all the doors. Even with the one that opens up, many of the adjacent doors also have locks. The deputy principal stated that in order to open a locker, a mechanism needs turned to unlatch it. If this is true, I'm uncertain how the door was opened from a closed position. Unless it wasn't fully closed and the papers were staged inside in just a way that would help push the door open. It could have been done with fishing line, or as stated, staged, and when it would exactly open wasn't known. The last part of activity is the wet floor sign. The first thing I thought of was that, being I've worked in many schools at night, I found it odd that the janitor would put up a wet floor sign at 3 o'clock in the morning. Many times janitors won't put one up if they're the only ones there, and if it is many hours before anyone else will be walking the halls. I'll give it a pass though, since this video was filmed on a Sunday, and maybe the janitor cleaned the floor Saturday and just left the sign up until Monday. Back to the video. Out of all of the activity, this part left me the most puzzled. Obviously fishing line could be used to pull it, but how it seemed to break at its hinge bothered me. The only thing I could come up with was that the sign was broke to begin with, and it flopped around violently when pulled. Then I looked at it again and thought about how pulling on a sign it would react. It almost seems like the part facing us is held down somehow, and only comes loose after being hit or pulled. This rarely happens to me, but I have to say how this was done puzzles me. Now, let's get into the part that really hurts this video, which I previously mentioned. I saw 3 separate articles about this activity, with the deputy principal discussing it. In the article from the Today Show, Aaron states that he doesn't believe the school is haunted, nor has any paranormal activity in it. In the article found at Unilad, Mr. Wolf sort of changed his view by stating that they were looking into having a medium come, and that he doesn't think the video was a prank, but couldn't rule out anything. Seems a little odd for someone who doesn't believe it is haunted, but maybe he agreed to the medium to keep his staff sated. Finally, in the article found in Reader's Digest, Mr. Wolf simply states that it was not a prank, as it would have been near impossible to do so. Feels like he's changing his story a little bit, but then again, maybe he saw something paranormal between uploading the video and sitting down with the reporters. Also, another thing to consider is some journalists sensationalize a story by using words a person they interviewed never actually said. On the school's YouTube channel, which has this video on it, a commenter by the name of Sleepy Skunk pointed out that the camera angle was wrong for a security camera, and that a previous mannequin challenge video showed he was right. This same user edited his comment with an update showing a picture posted from the school showing the hallway and the camera position. I can't be sure who exactly responded to him, but a reply from the school posted on his comment with this. In today's world of texts, it is hard to figure out a person's tone just by reading words, but I can't help but shake the vibe of the response being angry, if not just simply being stated as a put down. Back to the drawing board, Sherlock. Even within this response, the information about this occurring on the first floor is provided, but the security camera placement is not really addressed. They state it looks off due to it being zoomed in, but if you look at the clip with the hallway picture, this isn't what is happening here. The camera is a good 1.5 feet higher than the picture frames on the wall, not to mention being about 3 feet away from it. In our clip, the video is shot at what appears to be the top of the frame and only inches from it. If the camera could move in that dome, no matter how much its angle is changed, the placement of it would not, especially height-wise. What we have here is a separate camera set up on a tripod that is located in the doorway we see in the hallway picture. No matter if this was on the ground floor, first floor, or even second floor, all the cameras would be placed in similar locations. As a side note, the school is known for its Halloween event known as Fear Park, which the public is invited to. So maybe this footage was shot in order to drum up ticket sales. What is known is that at least this video will be classified as... Yes, I have issues with the wet floor sign, but being as how everything else can be explained, it leaves me to assume that it was also hoaxed, but I am unable to figure out how exactly. For now, I'm sticking by this classification, but as for the other activity that has been reported, it possibly could be haunted, but who knows? So, yes, user Sleepy Skunk, your assumptions are right, but it seems this attempt at a viral video can't be easily fought. Don't get me wrong, I in no way am trying to trash this school, especially since it seems to have a well-respected reputation and deep concern for their students' education. However, they messed up by stepping into the world of fake paranormal videos, which is where I step in. Anyway, have you had any interesting encounters while going to school or college that you would like to share? Also, maybe you saw something I missed, either for or against this supposed haunting, and would like to let me know. If you haven't yet, please consider subscribing to my channel for more content about the paranormal world and other things, and also could you give this video a thumbs up. With that, be safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.